If you're one of those people who thinks the Coca-Cola served at McDonald's tastes different than the Coke served at other places, good news, you're not crazy. The Coke at McDonald's actually does have a unique flavor, and some say it's better than canned Coke or Coke from other restaurants.
How do you even drink that?
And we know why. So, today we're going to take a look at why Coke at McDonald's tastes so different. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Foods channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other fast food oddities you would like to hear about. Okay, time to have a Coke and a smile, and a Big Mac. McDonald's and Coke was a match pretty much everyone, but health food advocates, agree was made in heaven. The relationship actually goes way back to 1955, when Disneyland was first opening in California. Rock Around the Clock was burning up the charts, and Marty McFly was trying to get his parents to kiss at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. It was also the year entrepreneur Ray Kroc first met Coca-Cola executive Waddy Pratt, and they must have hit it off pretty well, because within a few hours the two agreed to work together to expand their brands to every corner of the globe. That agreement means McDonald's is the only client that has an entire division at Coca-Cola devoted to it. In fact, it's often joked that McDonald's is among the top 5 countries that Coca-Cola sells to, which would make Ronald president? No. Ronald's king of that realm. The two companies work closely to manage the beverages served at McDonald's, and to that end, they've developed several processes that are entirely unique to the way each brand operates. The companies even have a deal that prevents Coca-Cola from selling their syrup to other restaurants for less than what McDonald's pays, no matter what that means for their bottom line. In this business, you don't even think about undercutting the clown. However, based on how well they've done over the past 70 years or so, we think this deal has worked out just fine for both parties. Most people don't realize it, but how and when the ingredients of soda are combined can make a difference in how the final product tastes. And unlike soda that comes in a bottle or can, fountain sodas are mixed the moment they start pouring from the tap. Basically, canned soda is kind of like frozen fish. If you want the best Coke, you have to get it straight from the stream. The soda syrup and the carbonated water are stored and dispensed by the machine separately, and then only mix once they actually fill your cup. This makes the taste of fountain drinks, in general, different from the taste of pre-mixed sodas, and many believe it results in a fresher flavor, including McDonald's. Mickey D's has consistently worked to make their Coke products taste as fresh as possible, and managing their drink machines is a big part of that. The company has a set of strict guidelines for their restaurants that ensures consistency across their thousands of locations. Locations that don't meet the corporate standard have their managers taken out to a field and clubbed by the fry guys, we assume. McDonald's aims to make it so that no matter which location you're visiting, the Coke they serve will taste identical to the Coke at every other McDonald's in the world. It's an ambitious goal, and not one that all of their competitors have pursued. That's largely because of the amount of syrup and carbon dioxide those competitors mix into their Coke. For example, some places deliberately put more syrup than is recommended into the mix in order to make their Coke taste sweeter. And while most companies usually have a standard recipe to work off of, individual locations may not always adhere to that standard. McDonald's, on the other hand, has always made a concerted effort to enforce their Coke standard, like Tony Montana. For the kind of people who notice such things, it definitely shows. Interestingly, McDonald's actually puts less syrup in their drinks than many other chains. A small Coke from McDonald's contains 40 grams of sugar, but over at a place like Panera Bread, you'll be served a Coke with as much as 67 grams of sugar in it. That's a fairly significant difference. Why? Well, presumably because Panera realizes it's just nowhere near as fun as McDonald's, so they're reaching for any advantage they can get. And the debut of their Panera burglar mascot went over like a lead balloon. But more importantly, McDonald's has managed to determine the exact ratio of syrup to put into their Cokes in order to capture that unique taste that they believe their customers love. And they're not going 1 gram of sugar over. Come on, they've already got the play place. They don't need to convince you they're fun. Mixing the ingredients of a soda is a lot more complicated than it seems. Even slight differences in syrup ratio, drink temperature, or carbonation levels can drastically affect the taste of fountain Coke. But McDonald's ain't having that. Over the years, they've gone to great lengths to ensure their Coke meets a certain standard. They even account for the effect that melting ice can have on flavor. Seriously, these people spend a lot of time thinking about soda. Do Coke sommeliers exist? If they do, McDonald's has several on the payroll. But as anyone who's ever drank a Coke before can tell you, melted ice absolutely affects the flavor. As the ice in the soda melts, the water begins to dilute the syrup ratio in the cup. This makes the drink less sweet over time. But people want ice. Have you ever had a warm Coke? Probably not, because they're against the Geneva Convention. So, McDonald's adds just enough extra syrup to reduce this effect. Practically speaking, this means that your first sip of McDonald's Coke is going to be a little sweeter than your fifth, but the drop-off is designed to be as invisible as Grimace's zipper. The chain also pre-chills its syrup before it's mixed into your drink. This is critical not only to prevent dilution, but also to keep the soda carbonated longer. Carbonation decreases rapidly at higher temperatures, which means your drink becomes less carbonated the warmer it gets. Not every restaurant and fast food chain pre-chills its syrup. In fact, the majority of fountain drink machines use a flash chilling system that is generally considered much less efficient than McDonald's pre-chilling method. To go the extra mile, McDonald's even pre-chills the water that goes into the Coke. Not only that, the actual drink fountain itself is refrigerated. Yeah, the entire fountain beverage system at McDonald's is kept at a chilled temperature thanks to insulated tubing. The tubes connect the restaurant's fountain machines to a refrigeration unit in the back, and water is continuously pumped through the system in order to keep it in the range of 33 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about as cold as the water can get before hitting the freezing point. The low temperature is also great for maintaining carbonation levels in the water. The whole process is a bit Willy Wonka by way of strip mall fast food joint, but it's a small price to pay for the world's most perfect Coke, unless you order it without ice. If you're one of those people who doesn't like watered-down drinks, or you're some kind of weirdo who enjoys warm soda, you're going to get a strange-tasting Coke. The company's soda is literally designed to be served with ice, so the flavor is fairly different without it. Your mileage may vary on whether it's better or worse, but it's not what the Golden Arches recommends. A big part of the alchemy behind making good Coke is simply in making sure the syrup doesn't spoil. Yeah, soda goes bad. Have you ever seen a spoiled box of soda syrup? It's like a bunch of ants stumbled into the gluttony crime from 7. To keep the syrup from going bad, you need to keep it as chilled as possible. To accomplish this, McDonald's actually developed its own fairly clever system of transporting, storing, and dispensing Coca-Cola. While most restaurants store their syrup in plastic bags, McDonald's uses special steel storage tanks designed to keep their contents cool. Plastic bags are much more vulnerable to the elements, and bags left open in the air can warm up over time. So before you know it, boom, you're left with a spoiled bag of soda you have to sell at a discounted rate. The steel tanks McDonald's uses protects the syrup from those kinds of temperature changes, as well as against air and even light exposure. In addition to keeping the drinks cold, the insulated tubing system is also there to ensure that the Coke maintains its satisfying, fizzy taste. To dissolve carbon dioxide into water, it must be kept at a low temperature and under high pressure, like a penguin with a gambling debt. Cold water traps the carbon dioxide required for carbonation, which is why colder sodas don't go flat as quickly as warm ones. Carbonation also adds a sharp, bitter sensation that is actually caused by a chemical reaction in the drink. When carbon dioxide dissolves in water, small traces of the carbon compound react with the water to create carbonic acid, a mild acid, an antibiotic that helps keep soda water cleaner for longer. Don't worry, there isn't going to be a test later or anything.
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist.
As if all that space-age soda fountain technology wasn't enough,
That is seriously cool.
McDonald's actually filters the water in its drinks before it is used in the fountain dispensers. Ronald's lips don't touch a drop of Coke unless it's been brewed with Evian. Mickey D's filtration system is state-of-the-art, with water filtered multiple times before it is ever served to a customer. A big reason for this is making sure Coke tastes the same in every McDonald's. You see, natural water sources differ in many ways, and can include different types of minerals. Like wine, you can often tell which region a certain water is from based on its unique mineral flavors. This phenomenon is known as terroir, and it's something McDonald's tries desperately to avoid. Because they have restaurants all over the globe, McDonald's has to make sure that local water sources do not affect the taste of their drinks. The best way to do that is to have a uniform filtration system that pumps out consistent results no matter which water source is being used. And as an added benefit, customers get to enjoy Coke as fresh and delicious as a mountain spring. Ever stop to consider whether the straw you're using changes the taste of the drink you're drinking? Well, McDonald's has. Its straws are a little bit wider than the industry standard, so that customers can enjoy bigger sips. They claim this embiggened straw ensures that Coke can wash over your taste buds more efficiently, which may be true, but straws also play another important role. Straws are designed so that sippers are always drinking from the bottom of their cup, and there's a reason for that. Over time, the water and syrup start to separate into different layers and spoil the taste. The bottom of the cup is where the syrup and water are most thoroughly mixed, and every sip helps you mix it a little bit more. You're technically doing a little bit of work for McDonald's every time you take a drink, which is okay. In lieu of back pay, we'll accept a shoebox full of chicken nuggets, please. Finally, the taste of soda depends on the medium you're drinking from. According to one soda expert, tall glasses are ideal because the carbonated bubbles are able to float upwards through more of the soda. But that's not to say that glass retains carbonation better than plastic. Both glass and aluminum containers are slightly porous, which means carbon dioxide can escape through small imperfections in the material. Plastic, on the other hand, is not nearly as porous and traps the gas more efficiently. This is likely why McDonald's serves some of its beverages in plastic cups, although they also use paper cups as well. So there you have it. All of the intricate science and technology behind the uniquely fresh flavor of McDonald's Coke, engineered by the finest food scientists in the business, who presumably all have giant cheeseburger heads. So what do you think? Do you think McDonald's Coke tastes better than anyone else's? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other weird history food videos.